Namaste everyone. In this video, we shall solve a numerical problem related to addition of two vectors. Here, the two vectors are nothing but forces. We know force is a vector quantity. As per the question, the greatest and the least resultant of two forces acting at a point is 10 Newton and 6 Newton respectively. So greatest resultant force greatest resultant force is equal to 10 Newton. Now the greatest resultant force or the resultant force will be greatest when the two forces are in the same direction. So let A and B let A and B be the two forces and A and B respectively be their magnitudes their magnitudes means the magnitudes of the two forces. So now greatest force will be possible when the two vectors are in the same direction. So A plus B is equal to 10 newtons. When the greatest force is possible when the two vectors are in the same direction. When the vectors are having the same direction, we just need to add the magnitudes to find the resultant vector's magnitude. Now they have also given the least resultant force least resultant force is 6 newtons. The resultant force will be least when the two forces acting at a point are in opposite directions. Now to find the magnitude of the resultant force when the two forces acting at a point are in opposite directions, we just need to subtract their magnitudes. So A minus B is equal to 6 newtons. Why can't it be B minus A? Here I have assumed A as the force which is having higher magnitude and B as the force which is having a lesser magnitude. So higher minus lower value will be positive, that is plus 6 newtons. So what is the value of A and what is the value of B? How can we get the values of A and B using these two equations? Why do we need to find the values of A and B first place? So here, if each force is increased by 3 Newton, before the force is increased, let us find the magnitude of each force. For that, we'll add two equations, adding equations 1 and 2. So if you add the two equations, A plus A is 2A, then B plus of minus B plus B minus B will cancel each other. So 10 plus 6 will be 16 Newton. So from this we can say A is 8 Newton. So substitute A is equal to 8 Newton in any of the equations. So let us say equation 1. So A plus B, that is 8 plus B is equal to 10 Newton. So B will be equal to 10 minus 8. 10 minus 8, that will be equal to 2 newtons. So these are the magnitudes of the two given forces. But now what has happened to the force as per the question? If each force is increased by 3 newton, so nu A, I'll just write the new force as nu A, where nu A is the magnitude of the new force after it is increased by 3 newton. So A value was 8 newton. After increasing it by 3 newton becomes 8 plus 3, 11 newtons. Now similarly, new B, the new force after it is increased by 3 newtons will be, it was 2 newtons before, now it is increased by 3 newtons. So 2 plus 3, it will become 5 newton. Now we need to find the resultant of the two new forces. To find the resultant of the two new forces, we can use this formula. C is equal to square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. 2ab cos theta. So here what does C represent? C is the magnitude of resultant force. Now what is theta here? Theta represents the angle between the two forces. So they've given that when acting at a point at an angle of 90 degrees with each other. So what is the value of theta? Theta will be equal to 90 degrees. So the angle between the two vectors is 90 degrees. So we shall substitute here. So C will be equal to A value is how much? It is 11. So 11 square plus B value is how much? It is 5. So B square will be 5 square plus 2 into 2ab means 2 into a into b. So 2 into 11 into 5 into cos theta. Cos theta value, as you know, is 90 degrees here. So we also know that cos 90 equals to 90 degrees is 0. So what happens to this? C will become 11 square. 11 square is 121 plus 5 square, that is 25, plus 2 into 11, 22 into 5 into cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. So all this non-zero value into zero value. Cos 90 is 0. So non-zero value into 0 will become 0. So this will be 0. So what will be the value of this one? So 121 plus 25. So this will be 146, and C is representing a resultant force. So therefore its SI unit will be Newton. So what is the magnitude of the resultant force? The magnitude of the resultant force is square root of 146 Newton. Square root of 146 Newton. So this is the answer. See, how did we get these formula? How did we get this formula? This formula can be easily obtained by a law called as triangle law of vector addition. So I've made a video on how to derive this formula and the formula to calculate the direction, the angle between the resultant vector and the first vector, which helps us in finding the direction of the resultant vector. So that I will try to provide the link of that video in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you again.